Just makes me feel like I got to get a piece of cardboard out, put it out on the street corner, and start doing some breakdancing or something. I don't know. Good morning, 8:26 now, and it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Let's talk now with Kevin Heff Kellman, and we've talked to him in the past when he's brought his comedy groups to Springfield, live comedy. I love it. I think it's the new punk rock. Has been for a while, actually, but it's finding itself again. But Kevin, I tell you, it's pretty wild to see. Last time we talked with you, it was after Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars, and now you've got Dave Chapelle, who was tackled by somebody. And what's bizarre about this, and I want to get your reaction not just to that incident, but the fact that the guy who tackled him is not going to be charged with a felony, and Dave Chapelle could be facing civil charges now. As somebody who's in the field as a working comedian, what do you think about all of this?
It's just all of it's kind of ludicrous, right? But I obviously you can laugh about it because the comedians have to first do that than anything else, right? But it is kind of outrageous that someone at the Hollywood Bowl, this isn't just any venue, this isn't some like podunk pop-up show in like a warehouse or something. This is Dave Chapelle at one of the biggest amphitheaters in the country. How did someone get on stage and do that?
And in front of a Netflix audience. I mean, this was Netflix that was doing the security and the filming and all of that.
Yeah, and then obviously now the rollover of his Chapelle is for as much as the controversial takes he'll have on things, and I'm not commenting on that. We don't know if that even played into anything. This guy attacks him, assaults him, then Chappelle's crew does what Chappelle's crew does. I don't know exactly what extent of things that they did, right?
They roll hard. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure Chappelle's
supposedly they rolled on someone. Allegedly and supposedly.
Yes.
Right? So how is Chappelle a legal issue for this and not this guy? Mind you, Chappelle spoke to the guy, saw there was something, off or wrong, and then the guy was in a dire spot mentally or health-wise or all these different things, right? But those photos online you see of that guy, he got a whooping, and he got a whooping for that.
It looked like a broken arm. His eye was the size of a softball. He definitely did not look like he was having a good night.
No. Up until then, maybe he was. But, first off, like, someone who does that is not well. At that scale, you're not well. And then you bring a weapon and all these different things. Now, mind you, it's Dave's grace to say, I don't want to charge for this. That could probably be because he felt like the guy already got maybe a different form of justice served to him. But now you also have this sense of how you have people suing us. It's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to have people sign NDAs when they come to a comedy show at the scale that I do. I'm not a speck and ounce in the universe of what Dave Chappelle's doing. I'm not trying to compare what I do to what he does.
Sure, but you're in the field, right? And you would think that Chappelle would have a higher level of security. But when you go out to a club...
That's a venue issue.
Yeah.
That's a venue issue. That isn't really on Dave. People from the crowd getting on stage, that's the venue.
Yeah.
And that's me being around rock concerts. It's me being around any live entertainment. It can be easy to say, like, how come Dave didn't keep that from happening? No, why didn't venue keep that from happening?
Yeah.
Why didn't the people who own the venue keep that from happening?
So
that has to be an industry type issue too.
We're talking with Kevin Kellman, also known as Heff, a comedian, and I can't wait for you to get back down here to Springfield because you definitely bring the ruckus whenever you bring you and your friends down here to do some live comedy. But has this in the conversations you've had with your fellow comedians, how has this changed how you approach live shows? It
has changed nothing. It has changed. You think it would, right? But it's changed nothing. I've been around shows at the scale of what you saw me do at Buzz Pump, where we're doing shows for 40 or 60 people, and it feels like a honky tonk, but we're just playing the music with our words, right?
Yeah.
That is, I've been in situations where that feels like it was going to get out of hand. Because you have people that are like, no, I want you to make fun of something, or I want this, or like a heckler turns into a complete disruptor. I can say there is nothing more despised in comedy than somebody who wants to disrupt what you do because the attention simply isn't on them. And you never see it and anything else.
Wow.
You don't see that when if a band performs and somebody disrupts the show, everyone's like, yeah, that person's out of there. If someone disrupts a comedian and chimes in and it just goes and goes and goes, and then we just pull the trigger on you and you're out of there, we're suddenly jerks somehow for a little bit. We're somehow jerks, but you don't understand, like, you being quiet and us controlling the conversation with our words, which is all we have, right? And our personality that's the show. So if you continually do that, that is the show. I did a show at Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois. It's up on a podcast right now. It's with Doug Benson, very, very funny comedian. I did Doug Loves Movies with him. It's up right now. There's a lady in the crowd who's going off about somebody on the stage wearing a Cubs shirt, and she just can't control herself. And it's a nice emotion that she said, that thing. All right, fine, once, but like kept going back to it, and that's the point where we have to agree, we have to yes and it, turn it into a part of the show, but it shouldn't be a part of the show. So that's just heckling. Now this goes beyond that. This is complete mania. This is complete, like, I have to take over this entire space and get as much attention as I can. And Dave Chapelle is a guy who's been getting a lot of attention, gravitated to him for a bunch of different reasons. A lot of them not having to do with comedy.
Well, it's obvious that you are in the arena, and it's an arena that hopefully you're doing some MMA training to prepare for, maybe a leg sweep, or you're wearing some special.
Sprawl, right? I gotta get ready to sprawl, get my headlock going.
Yeah, or you've got a gladiator, protective vest on or something, or come out with a Viking hat and a sword. That way you can just.
I'll have like a full body like bear suit on, like one of those bear, like when they go to talk. Yeah, no, I've had friends who've had a beer bottle thrown at them. I've had in certain crowds, like people yell at you and stuff like that. I mean, that's fine. I'm used to heckling. I'm used to people not thinking I'm funny. That can be fine, right?
That's wild.
A bomb is a scarier word to a comedian than being attacked sometimes. But no, it's BS. It's a sentiment of the culture we're in, where disruption is now a sense of freedom. My right to disrupt you is my sense of freedom, and my overindulgence of this is my right thing. Like, no, we have a social contract we sign when we go to something like this, and that doesn't have to be something you physically sign. It's something you sign with your presence and your agreement from being there, and no different than when you go to a movie or anything like that. I wouldn't want to ruin something. Now, if I go to a movie there, they say like yell at the screen. That's a part of the show,
right?
All right, that's a part of the show. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I've also been at open mics where, like, there's a heckling portion of the show. Well, that's fine. That's that show. This show, it's a lot of people come, a lot of people be quiet. You don't film the show. You put your phone in your yonder pouch. It's Dave Chappelle's show. That's his show. Mm-hmm. So you can't follow the social contract. You break the deal, you're out. I don't think it's that hard to break down.
I don't think so either. So looking forward to the next time you guys are back in town. So let's make that happen. Keep me posted, and looking forward to talking again. Kevin Heff Kellman, where can people find information about you?
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Kev Kellum, KEVKELLAM, and then you can hear me middays over on 97.7 QLZ.
There you go. Make it happen. All right. Hey, Heff, have a great day, and don't get into any fist fights. All right.
I won't. I'll try not to be that funny that someone wants to punch me in the face.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Right. We'll talk soon. It is now 8:35, late for news, but we are going to be joined by